Hey guys, Gathering Magic back again. Haven't done this in a couple days. Been playing a lot of Splinterforge and not too much in Splinterlands. So the bronze boss just died in Splinterforge, and I will go over how I convert those funds to DEC in game and what I use it for. But first, let's go ahead and open these 9 chests for today. 9 has been my lucky number for the last couple weeks, so let's see if it continues. Hoping as always to get just the summoners I need to get to level 2. Okay, starting off with Swamp Spitter, 0.3 SPS, another fraction of SPS. Riverboat Captains, that's another card I need to level to 2. There we go. I think this is the last life summoner I need for level 2, so that is awesome. A little more SPS, Drybone Barbarian. I'm trying to think if that's the card that I need to get to level 3 yet. Let's go ahead and check. So we got 4 cards out of 9 chests. So 9 chests, 4 cards. So we now have 303 cards that we've gotten out of bronze chests out of 1120. And we did get a summoner today. Alright, so let's go ahead and check the account. What I did, was it yesterday or the day before, I spent some of my DEC that I had gotten from playing Splinterforge, and I went ahead and I bought, just so you guys can see, another copy of Thaddeus Brood. So I now have 3. I need 2 more to level, and that was the last Franz Roughmane that I need, so that card is now level 2. So I will now be able to cast Max Bronze monsters, for my life team. So this is 1 fewer card that I will have to rent. But also I'm thinking of eventually picking up, since it's the cheapest summoner for life, a level 2 copy of General Sloan over the next couple weeks. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the summoners. So now I have 2 copies of Tarsa that I own. Let's sort this by Chaos Legion. And sort by core. So these are the ones that I own. Like I said, I picked up a copy yesterday of Thaddeus Brood, so I have 3, 2 Tarsas, level 2 Kelia. And then for the Soulbound, so we now have level 2 Fire, Water, Dragon, and Life. So I just need 2 copies of Earth and 1 more Death. And we will have all the summoners that we need for Soulbound. Managed to get enough merits to open a Gladius case, so let's go ahead and do that. And then we will go through the process of converting Forgium to DEC and getting it in game, so you guys can see how to do that. So let's see what we get in this case. Start at the bottom. Helmet, so I've never used that card. Chimney Wall Stop, I use that a lot. Love this card. Going to be excited when I can get my Earth Summoner to 2 for summoning Gladius cards, so I can play this. Cutter Breeze, and Elva. So there's our case. Go ahead and claim our daily rewards, another SPS. Building this back up to 400. There's Vruz doing his thing. Okay, so let's go over to Hive Engine. So in Splinterforge, I ended up getting 3,827 Forge in the last day or so with my alt account. A lot of this was from the leaderboard rewards for killing the bronze boss, and then just the rest of it was just for battle rewards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Forge and I'm going to swap it. So I'm going to go to Swap Tokens, type in Forge. So it's the Forgium token right here, and I'm going to convert that to DEC. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the full balance. And we're going to see how much DEC we get for the 3,800. 3827. So that will end up being about 937 DEC. As you can see, the amounts are pretty close. 73.9 cents, 73.3 cents. That's fine. We'll go ahead and swap that over. Now this is for my main account that I have my Hive Engine wallet, Jovac. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to move this DEC in to my main account. So I'm going to go ahead, log out, log back in as my main account. And in the time it takes me to do that, that transaction should go through and it should show that amount. So if I click on DEC right here, give it a few seconds, I might have to refresh the page. It'll show the amount in my Hive Engine wallet. Usually it takes anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute or so for the transaction. Usually it doesn't take a whole lot of time. Once I see it here in my Hive Engine wallet, then I know that it went through. There it is. So I've got 938 DEC. So I'll refresh this page. So now you can see 938 DEC. So we're going to go ahead. Well, first I will have to transfer it into my account from Hive. So it's 938 DEC. Transfer. That'll bring it into my main account. And then I will just transfer that over to my alt account, Gedfer. So I'll get a notification when that goes through. And in the meantime, since I already have 938, I can just go ahead, transfer this to a player, and we'll send 938 to Gedfer. And those are the rewards that I got from playing Splinterforge for just a couple days. Like I said, defeating the bronze boss. I was in the top 50 in the leaderboard, so I wasn't super high in the leaderboard. But if you can try to get into the top 50, you'll usually get 2,500 to 3,500 Forgium tokens are sent. Okay, so now what we can do is go back to my alt account, and just this little bit of funds that I get, every 2 or 3 days from playing Splinterforge, even though it's, a small amount, $1 here, $1 there, when you're playing in bronze, that can make a big difference to your account. So now what I can do is, now you can see I've got 1,630 DEC. Let's go on over to the market. Let's look at summoners. Thaddeus Brood, 77 cents. So what I can do is just look and say, okay, well, he's 80 cents now is the cheapest one. So if I wanted to purchase another Thaddeus Brood, that's 1,014 DEC, which is pretty close to what I got just from playing Splinterforge. Got me a summoner, so let's go ahead and click OK. So now that is Thaddeus Brood number 4. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the rest of this DEC, 615. So that's what, 40, 50 cents, somewhere in that range. So the next time the Splinterforge boss dies, the current boss just spawned. So, he's got 3 days to go. He's got a very good main ability, Backfire. Not too worried about that. So if you miss, you'll take 2 damage. I don't have a kitty, but if I have a kitty, that completely negates this. So I can go ahead and play this boss. Usually I don't like playing against the force field rule set, so you can go ahead and refresh it. Affliction's another bad one. If you get Affliction, what I like to do, I usually do Lily, Yasik. So to get around Affliction, you can play Forgotten One. Forgotten One will not get hit with the Affliction. I like the Swamp Spitter for the repair, a heal. Let's see how much mana I'll have. I usually like to do 1 slow. So I've got 3 monsters left. Halfling Alchemist to have his damage. Let's see. Can I get another repair in? So another repair, and then my last 10. Let's go with Tinderlock, so he'll get Last Stand. Because the great thing with Lily is they have to attack in order. So As soon as Forgotten One dies, it'll go to Swamp Spitter as who he'll attack, and so on. So Tinderlock will trigger his last stand. So didn't do very good that. 176, probably the Affliction. Oh, I'm trying to think why that went so low. Usually it shouldn't be that low. Let's try another battle. Let's do Lillian Yasik again. So this one has Magic Reflect, so if he doesn't have Affliction, then usually what I'll do is I'll go Hardclaw, Swamp Spitter, let's go Heal, let's go Slow, Halfling Alchemist, Corsair, and Tinderlock. This should be a little bit better. Oh, and I'm out of stamina. Well, can't show you that battle. But yeah, just playing Splinterforge a little bit allows me to get enough funds to buy, you know, a summoner here, a summoner there. Like I said, the next thing I will purchase is I will go for one more Thaddeus Brood that will get him to level 2. And then the next summoner I'll probably target is Tarsa, since I already have 2 of her. And then I don't see General Sloan, his price spiking anytime soon. So once I get 3 more copies of Tarsa, the next one I'll move on to probably will be General Sloan, since he's so cheap, just to get a level 2. Let me just see how much DEC would be right now. So if I had the DEC, I would need about 4,500 DEC to just purchase a level 2 life summoner. So just wanted to share that with you guys. So that's the process that I use. Like I said, I'll play Splinterforge in the morning, get home from work, play a little bit before I go to bed. Always try to keep my stamina, you know, low enough where it's not going to hit 1,000. It's not going to max out. Once the bronze boss is dead and I get my rewards, go to Hive Engine, move it there, transfer it to DEC, and then move it on to my account. So that's basically what I do. And basically I earn so much more in Splinterforge than I do in Splinterlands. Well, you can see, what did I get in my 9 chests? I got just fractions of an SPS, soulbound cards that, you know, technically aren't worth anything. They do help your account, but, you know, have no monetary value. Merits really have no monetary value. Potions don't, you know, they're just useful for getting soulbound cards. So if you just look at it monetarily, even if I earned 1 SPS a day in bronze, that would be what, 2.2 cents? I can earn 70, 80 cents or more in 2-3 days of playing Splinterforge. So just from a money standpoint, if you want to buy cards on Splinterlands, even if you don't have any cards, even if you have a brand new account, just go to the marketplace. Let me run that through you real quick. So let's say you don't have any cards in Splinterlands and you want to play Splinterforge and you want to play a somewhat decent team like this. Let's say, okay, let's just see what the cost would be. Let's say, okay, I want to get a Hardclaw. Let's go to rent. You only need a level 1. So you can rent a level 1 Hardclaw for 1/4 of a DEC a day. Okay, what's the next card that I need? Swamp Spitter. Now this is one you're going to need Soulbound for. If you don't have any Soulbound cards, you would use Scavo Hireling. So this is probably going to be another very cheap card. So let's look at Scavo Hireling. I'm sure you can rent him very, very cheaply. So Scavo Hireling, even if you wanted to get a level 3, I'm sure it's extremely cheap. You only really need a level 1. So if you wanted to go with a level 3, you could, but it's probably not going to really matter for price. Let's take a look. So a level 3, looking at 2 DEC a day, maybe even a little bit less than that. So let's just say 2 DEC, but even that, I think you can pretty much get away with a level 1, which isn't even going to cost you 1 DEC. The next card I would say that you would need to get would be the Guardian. So let's take a look at her, see how much she would cost to rent. And is she a rare? Yep. Another cheap card to rent. 1/10 of a DEC, so basically free. Alchemist, I think, is a must-have card because you really want that halving ability. So Halfling Alchemist, to rent him a DEC a day. So you're up to, what, 2? Let's just say 3 DEC. Another card would be the Creeping Ooze. So let's look at the Creeping Ooze. There's Creeping Ooze. I'm sure that's super cheap as well. Yep, basically free, a 1/10 of a DEC. Next card, let's just say Corsair Bolson. He is an awesome card. So he is life. You can rent him for a 1/10 of a DEC, basically free. The other card that I use a lot, especially against the bronze, would be Tinderlock, 1/10 of a DEC. So let's just run through it real quick. Your most expensive one is probably going to be Halfling Alchemist at 2 a day. All the other cards, let's say another 2 DEC. Throw in another DEC for just some other random cards that you see on the screen. These are the ones that I usually use. Let's look at Ra. Every once in a while I'll look at Ra. Throw him in there, depending on the rule set. So he is legendary. Look at that. Even a legendary Ra you can get for 1 DEC a day. So let's say 5 DEC. So for 5 DEC, you could probably rent every card you see on the screen, with the exception of that, say, a Gladius card. You could rent all of these cards, and this is basically the cards that I use to play against the bronze boss. So for 5 DEC a day, I'm going to end up making, well, you saw, what did I just convert over? 900 and some DEC for about 2 or 3 days. So I would say 900 DEC when you're spending, let's say 3 days, 15 DEC. That's a pretty good return. And like I said, you could do this without owning any cards in Splinterlands and just playing Splinterforge. Now the one thing that you would have to do if you've never played Splinterforge before is you would have to work on equipping your hero. Because if your hero has no items, basically it's called the naked hero. So all these stats would be 1, so you would only be earning 20% of your full 100%, but I'm going to have to double check this. I think that's only points for the leaderboards. I don't know if that's per battle forge that you would get. So, but still, like I said, play Splinterforge, spend a little bit on rentals. You don't need to spend a lot. Like I said, 5 DEC or less will get you going. You can do decent, get some decent earnings on the leaderboard. You should be able to place in the top 100. Let's just show you guys the leaderboards. So in bronze, the leaderboards go down all the way to 150. So even if you end up like in the 100 spot, these rewards of course are low because the boss just spawned. You're going to get 1,000 or more Forgium. So once you get 3,000 Forgium, you can start buying crates and equipping your hero if need be. If not, you can go on the Splex market and you can buy some starter gear pretty cheaply. So you just buy some common gear. Every piece of common gear will add 1 to your stat, so it'll basically double your forge that you will earn. Or not double your earnings, but it'll double your stat points that you have. So instead of starting with 4 points, you're going to start, I think, with 10. So if you get 1 of each 4 pieces of armor, and you get your weapon in your offhand, that's 6. So 6 points plus your 4 is 10. So you're going to earn half your requirements. And as you can see, you can buy these just for a few pennies. So you can buy an entire set of starter gear, probably for 50 cents or less. Okay guys, there you have it. Didn't intend for the video to go this long, but just wanted to show you that, yeah, it is possible to earn in Splinterlands, but at least for me, the main earning is coming from Splinterforge, just spending some time playing my battles, getting the forge, converting it to DEC, and then just every 2-3 days having some fun. Just buying some cheap cards, some summoners. Another thing that I'm looking at buying in the future once I get my summoners to level 2 is there are a lot of very nice beta cards that are very, very cheap that I don't own that I think would be helpful for my Splinterlands battles. I would love to get a Silver Shield Archer. He's only 15 cents, snipe. And with General Sloan, that's 2 damage. Baby Unicorn for the Strengthen, Screeching Harpy for the Opportunity, and it's only 3 mana. There's some good cards here that, I don't own that I'll be able to pick up. Animated Corpse for Little League for only 19 cents. Pirate Captain is a card that I use a lot. I rented a lot of gold alphas for this account when I was first starting and used that because it would do 2 snipe damage. So that is definitely a card that I'm interested in. Creeping Ooze is a card that I bought. Armorsmith, so that is the next target, so that might be something you guys want to consider too if you're playing against the Bronze Boss, or just playing in Splinterlands and playing Wild. Look at some of these beta cards that you can pick up for just pennies, and you can get these pennies from Splinterforge. Okay guys, thanks for watching this video. I will come out with another video probably sometime in the next couple days going through my land strategy. The plots I own and the monsters that I need and what monsters I'm going to need to buy to max out the land that I have to the best of my ability. So look for that sometime this weekend. Okay guys, as always, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the game, any topics you'd like me to cover. And until then, I will see you again soon with another video. Take care.